Hello and a hearty welcome to all present here. The highly well-known CEO of Google and Alphabet, Sundar Pichai, rightly says, and I further quote, "The reason you can prepare is because so many others have done it before. This not only motivates us to survive the current times with much ease, but also encourages and instills hope that the present generation is much capable of bringing transitional changes in the future." COVID-19 marks the return of a very old and familiar enemy. Throughout history, not wars or natural disasters, it is epidemics in particular that have been responsible for the large-scale destruction of mankind.
Today, the History Department of Class 12 will take you on a journey across time period, giving you a glimpse of history's 5 worst pandemic, which is the Plague of Justinian, the Black Death, the Spanish flu, the HIV pandemic, and currently the pandemic which we all are going through right now, which is the COVID-19 or the coronavirus.
The Justinian plague, which began in AD 541, is considered the first pandemic in recorded history, which swept across 3 continents affecting the entire Mediterranean basin, Europe and the Near East. The plague, which was caused by Yersinia pestis, spread from Egypt and was carried around by merchant ships infested with disease-carrying rodents, killing around 25 to 100 million people during 2 centuries of recurrence. The plague got its name from the Byzantine Emperor Justinian, who was trying to rebuild his empire to the glory of ancient Rome. But the plague destroyed his military, economy, and trade. The Justinian plague would start off with just a mild fever, and later, within a few days, black blisters filled with pus appear on the body of the victims. At this point, the victims fall into deep coma, become paranoid, or may even have suicidal thoughts.
The Black Death was a devastating global epidemic of bubonic plague that struck Europe and Asia in the mid 1300s. The plague arrived in Europe in October 1347 when 12 ships from Black Sea docked at the Silicon port of Messenia. Over the next 5 years, the Black Death would kill more than 20 million people in Europe, almost 1/3 of the continent's population. The plague is thought to have originated in Asia over 2000 years ago and was likely spread by trading ships. The bubonic plague attacks the lymphatic system, causing swelling in lymph nodes. If untreated, the infection can spread to blood or lungs. Today, scientists understand the Black Death, now known as the plague, is spread by a bacillus called Yersinia pestis. The French biologist Alexander Yersin discovered this germ at the end of the 19th century. Physicians relied on crude and unsophisticated techniques such as bloodletting and boil blanching, practices that were dangerous as well as unsanitary. The plague never really ended and it returned with vengeance years later, creating social distancing that relied on isolation to slow the spread of the disease. The sailors were initially held on their ships for 30 days, a period that was later increased to 40 days, or a quarantine, the origin of the term quarantine, and a practice still used today.
The Spanish flu pandemic of 1918. The Spanish flu pandemic of 1918, the deadliest in history, infected an estimated 500 million people worldwide, about 1/3 of the planet's population, and killed an estimated 20 million to 50 million victims, including some 675,000 Americans. The 1918 flu was first observed in Europe, the United States, and parts of Asia before swiftly spreading around the world. At the time, there were no effective drugs or vaccines to treat the killer flu. Citizens were ordered to wear masks, schools, theaters, and business were shut, and bodies piled up in makeshift morgues before the virus ended its deadly global march. The first wave of the 1918 pandemic occurred in the spring and was generally mild. The sick who experience such typical flu symptoms such as chills, fever, and fatigue usually recovered after several days, and the number of deaths reported was low. However, a second, highly contagious wave of influenza appeared with a vengeance in the fall of that same year. Victims died within hours or days of developing symptoms, their skin turning blue and their lungs filling with the fluid that caused them to suffocate. In just 1 year, that is 1918, the average life expectancy in America plummeted by a dozen years. One unusual aspect of the 1918 flu was that it struck down previously healthy young people, a group normally resistant to this type of infectious illness, including a number of World War I servicemen. In fact, more US soldiers died from the 1918 flu than were killed in the battle during the war. 40% of the US Navy was hit with the flu, while 36% of the Army became ill, and troops moving around the world in crowded ships and trains helped to spread the killer virus.
HIV, human immunodeficiency virus, is a virus that attacks cells that help the body fight infection, making a person more vulnerable to other infections and diseases. It is spread by contact with certain bodily fluids of a person with HIV. HIV is the same virus that can lead to AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Researchers found the earliest case of HIV in a blood sample of a man from the Democratic Republic of Congo sometime before 1931. By 1984, researchers studied how the disease spread and found that there were 3,064 diagnosed cases of AIDS in the United States. Of those 3,064 cases, 1,292 people died. By 1995, complications from AIDS was the leading cause of death for adults 25 to 44 years old. Azidothimidine, also known as Zidovudin, was introduced in 1987 as the first treatment for HIV. AIDS is the most severe phase of HIV infection. People with AIDS have such badly damaged immune systems that they get an increasing number of severe illness called opportunistic illness. We know that HIV/AIDS is the most recent occurrence of a pandemic. People are still diagnosed with HIV and still continue to fight it.
COVID-19. The coronavirus pandemic has completely rewritten the rules of this world, taking a toll on everyone's physical and emotional state of mind. In December 2019, the Chinese authorities alerted the world that a virus was spreading through their community. In the following months, it spread to other countries, with cases doubling within days. This virus is severe acute respiratory syndrome related coronavirus 2 that causes the disease COVID-19, and everyone simply calls it coronavirus. The first death caused by this virus was reported on January 9, 2020, and has only been increasing ever since. As of June 30, 2020, COVID-19 has taken the lives of over 506,000 people around the globe. The epidemic was declared as a global health emergency on January 30, 2020 by the United Nations. With this declaration, travel restrictions have been heavily imposed around the world, and businesses and educational institutions have been temporarily shut down. The disease spread to different countries through international travelers, leading to a global pandemic situation. Coronavirus is now dominating the lives of everyone, and its history is constantly being rewritten. Governments around the world have advised the people to practice social distancing and isolate themselves while keeping their immune systems healthy. There is a nagging sense that we are in the midst of a once-in-a-lifetime historical event. Years from now, we'll share stories with friends, teach about COVID-19 in schools, and tell our kids about life in 2020. Social media would be an uncensored and an undocumented source of remembering COVID-19. This could include how communities were rapidly affected, how the economy took a downfall, and also educate the future generations about how the nature healed to a great extent while we were sitting at home. As the COVID-19 pandemic continues to spread around the world with millions of cases and an ever-increasing death toll, we hope that scientists around the globe will be able to invent a vaccine or a cure to fight off this pandemic together.
The extended arc of history tells us that mankind has endured and prevailed through many dark phases like these. Each of these phases has enlarged our wealth of knowledge on how to overcome such situations. Added to these learnings from the past, today we have been blessed with advanced sciences and technology which will help us to overcome these situations in a better way.
In such a phase, what can be highly obliging to us is the fact that we need to hold our fellowship so sacred that even when we are alone, we make up a whole.
We have a chance to do something extraordinary. As we head out of this pandemic, we can change the world, create a world of love, a world where we are kind to each other. Let love and kindness be our roadmap. We still need to have patience, hope, and positivity prevailing in us so that the world recognizes us not for what we've lost, but for what we've changed.